Hello and welcome to GUI.Dog. Oh yes, what do we talk about today? SUHUF. Yes, SUHUF is what we're talking about today. There we are. I don't think I've mentioned this before. You can see there's a PGP key there. Yep, and that's if you want to send an encrypted email to this email address right here. And if you could believe it, that email address is on protonmail.com. Yes, it's Protonmail. It's not on the actual web host email. There's a link in the description. You need a pro account to be able to do that, and that's a paid account, but with the link in the description you get 2 weeks free, and then you can try it for yourself. I'll also put a link to a video by Naomi Brockwell. She covers how you can actually set it up on Protonmail so that you actually have your domain name, that is your website, so you can have like a mail address, like for instance here, support@suhuf.co. It's connected to the website itself. You can do that, and your website doesn't have to be actually live, but you can do that. But if your website is live, because obviously we're here to make money, then you can also add what is your public key, so that if someone wants to send you an encrypted email, they can do so. And I'll also link to that video from Naomi Brockwell, so you can take a look at that and vibe code that as well. That's one of the things that kind of grinds my gears, you know, like it's one of those things that I've always wondered why companies they just send out, you know, an email is like a postcard, and then your whole personal private life is being broadcast across the internet, because companies have this habit of sending emails and not giving you the option of encrypting. And that's really bad, because I know, okay, most people will not encrypt their emails and they don't care, but a company is a centralized entity. You know, it deals with thousands, tens of thousands, a lot of people. It might as well give that option, so that the 1 in 100,000 that want to actually encrypt their emails are able to do so, and then they can keep their privacy. So I never understood why companies do that. And the worst thing is that they broadcast, even worse, is the header of the email, that is the title of the email. That is not encrypted, even when you have encrypted the body. And for some reason these companies are obsessed with putting every single detail of your life in the header itself, so that anyone who's watching will know what you're doing, whatever, etc. Like for instance, you buy crypto, you buy some VVV, and then all of a sudden in the header it's broadcasting your whole business. I never understood that. So as we're here entrepreneurs, we're here to solve problems for our customers by learning something new, and then getting paid for it. This is one thing that you can actually do for your customers, is provide them a private way of communicating with you via email. Yeah, so now, like this SUHUF, there's something that I've been kind of trying to get to work, like, you know, like I've been trying to get a login with Nostra. I really need the QR code to work, and well, let's just say it hasn't worked yet, and it's really getting on my nerves, because on mobile it would be a slam dunk. It would be something, you know, something really brilliant if I can actually get this SUHUF to work on mobile with the Nostra. And Nostra has been something that AI has been struggling with, even from the early days. Like I tried Lovable and there was no support for Nostra. At least now you can actually add Nostra to your website. The reason why I've added it is because I don't want to deal with personal identifiable information. I don't want to deal with customer information as your personal information. That's just a minefield. Like, I am not a dev. I don't know how to secure it on the database. I could try to vibe code it, but as you've seen, you know, that's hit and miss, and the AI could just really mess it up, and then all of a sudden people's personal identifiable information is being leaked onto the dark web and across and then they're getting spam, and that's really bad for business if it can be traced to you. So there's no need to deal with that. What I'm dealing with is business information, public business information, but I'm dealing with it. It's the same kind of information. You have a business name, you have telephone numbers, addresses, email addresses, and so forth. But you can cut your teeth by dealing with business information because it's public information. If it's leaked from your database, even though you're doing everything to secure it, you treat it as though it is personal identifiable information, but you're doing every single thing to secure it. And then let's say your database is compromised, there's no harm, no foul, there's no problem. You're learning, and because it's public information, like they can just web search that information. Why, if they want to put it on the dark web, go ahead, but it's a normal web, so that's not a problem. So yeah, so like it's this Nostra thing, this Nostra Connect. I started to rethink it and I started thinking that I can't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, and the worst thing about it is that I have to actually upload it to the web host and then test it. I cannot test it locally because locally is not connected to the internet as well. Suppose that's what the AI is saying, that it actually has to be. So every single time I make a change, I'm going to load it to the web host and then test it, and we're getting there somewhere. It's getting a bit better. I mean, there is progress, but I guess I'm kind of, we talk about the desert of desertion, so we're deep in the desert right now. That is basically that when you start a project, you're gonna have to cross a desert, and you feel alone, and you feel unsupported, etc. And then so it's been one of those things that's just been bugging me, and it's not working. But I got some inspiration from Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor has recently talked about using AI. So I will link to that in the description as well. Take a look at that. Basically the summary of the message is keep going, keep building, bigger and bigger. So I know I'm kind of on the edge when it comes to Nostra, but I think I'll just keep trying, and we will see whether we'll get it working, because it's a huge slam dunk if it works, because then it means that SUHUF is able to be accessed by people logging into Nostra on mobile, and that's huge because most people have a mobile, not everyone has a laptop. So now I have got let me go to the page. So I've looked into edge functions, yep, and there's this write-up by Jaswinder Singh. It's a very good write-up about edge functions and AI. Really, this is I know it's a cliche, it's a game changer, but you can literally have AI in a program now. The edge function is either JavaScript or TypeScript, and it's small, and it's run in what is called, I think it's Dino. What is it? Dino is a runtime. Yeah, that's it, runtime. So it's kind of like a small mini computer that runs your little program that has AI, and the AI has web capabilities, so it can search the web. And then basically the analogy I give is that Dino is like a bumblebee, and your edge function is its brain, and you've given it instructions, this bumblebee, to go out into the world, that is the internet, to visit flowers, that is websites, particular types of website, to collect the nectar, which is information, which is a particular type of information that you're looking for, and then bring it back to your Superbase database, that is the hive, and then process it, that is make it into honey, and then you sell the honey for the money. This is amazing. You can have this thing going 24/7. In fact, I've changed the function on SUHUF because I was getting there is a timeout limit. It has very strict limits, these edge functions, and it's 400 seconds. Well, that's what the AI is saying anyway. And I tried to kind of update all the businesses on SUHUF at one particular time on one particular day, and it said basically that's not how it's going to be. It's supposed to be handled. It's every single hour it should be doing it. Can you believe that? That you can literally have this edge function, your little bumblebee, working every single hour of the day, and you're not attending to it, nothing. It's just doing it in the background, collecting the information that you can process into honey that you then sell for the money. You sell it to your visitors, your users, and that is a huge thing, huge thing. So I want to give you an example, because we've talked about Jim Rohn, and we've talked about how he says that Mr. SUHUF, this mysterious Mr. SUHUF, told him that it's not money that he's lacking when he's thinking of starting a business. It's not money that he's lacking. He's lacking ideas. So I'm working on SUHUF, but I had this idea that about cafes, for instance. Like, I'm not a foodie person, but when it comes to cafes, like there's one cafe I went to years ago, and I can't remember where it is right now. I can picture it in my head, but I can't remember the name of the place. And it had this coffee that had ginger in it, and there was so much caffeine in it that if you drank it in the afternoon, you're not going to sleep. But it was great. And these cafes, like, they're very small, they're new businesses, they're being maybe family run, someone's trying their hand at business, they're not established. Of course you have the big chains and everything, but they're not established. And obviously they have that repetition. Like in the last video we talked about nurseries, like little kiddie nurseries, and then how each nursery they're all popping up and they all do the same thing. You know, the dry principle, don't repeat yourself. In programming, DRY, dry, don't repeat yourself. And they all repeat themselves by getting a website, SEO, trying to get traction with the website, and you know, all this manner of madness, because every single business, as we've talked about before, it needs marketing, it needs branding, and that's where you can come in. If you're dealing with businesses, you can offer them marketing and branding. And I'm not saying just some bespoke, like, you know, agency and so forth. No, you know, you need to think beyond that. So for instance, the cafe idea, you've got some like the one on the screen, this cafe directory. They've got some, looks like affiliate marketing going on here. They've got maps, and they've got feedback, but there's not much happening. Like, I don't see anything happening. It's pretty standard, but they've got the basic information here. Lovely jubbly, it's really nice, and they've got the website as well. Lovely. So yeah, so you could actually send your bumblebee, that is your edge function, out to get the information that you need about cafes. And then the information that you would actually need, you could actually make it so that it's SEO friendly. So I will link in the description to the schema that you need, like the kind of information that you can ask the AI that you want to extract information that is for cafes, that is SEO friendly, and is that will fill the schema, because there's certain categories of information for cafes in a schema. And then that will make you supposedly high rank on a web search. So you can literally make the edge function go out and get that specific information, bring it back, and then for each page you can rank highly. If you can rank your page highly, higher than the actual page of the cafe, because think about it, someone, in order to go to that cafe's web page, almost, well, call it 50-50, they will have to know the cafe is there. But that defeats the purpose. What if they just want to go to a cafe? What if they're just looking for somewhere to go in the summer and they don't know exactly where to go, but they want something new? That's where you come in. That if you can have a cafe directory, as you're seeing on your screen, and then you have made it SEO friendly, then if someone searches for a cafe in a certain vague area, then that cafe can come up. And if there's multiple examples of that cafe, like multiple listings for that search, then obviously that's where you come in with featured, that you can actually get approach the cafe, tell them, oh, you on my website, you're coming up a lot in this search. This is the volume of search, but you're not being picked unless your competition is being picked more than you, or it's 50-50, or well, why don't you feature yourself, and then we'll put you up front and prominent. You can actually do a pop-up. I actually thought of just doing a pop-up. Like if someone searches for a cafe in a certain area, the featured one can actually pop up straight away, and why wouldn't they click it? It's what they're looking for. It's not like these annoying pop-ups that you didn't ask for, and all of a sudden you just jump in your face. Like they've searched for something, and then boom, the business that actually paid you money to feature on your website is the one that is promoted, covering all the others, and they have to click away to actually see the others who didn't pay. But it fits in their search. It's what they're looking for, so why wouldn't they click it? So it's not intrusive. It's like, oh, this is great, right here, right in my face. That's what they're looking for. So cafes is one thing that you can actually try if you don't have any ideas, because it's the ideas that that make the difference. Now the AI, like I don't know. I think these AIs, they have a use-by date, because Kimi K2.5, it was working great. Now I'm just getting errors and errors, and lately I've had to cycle from one cheap AI to another, just keep on cycling, because it keeps on failing, and for some reason they can't condense the context. When the context, basically when there's too much information for the AI, it can condense it and then carry on, and that was working from before. Now lately it can't even condense it. I have to use an AI with a huge context window. That is an AI that can consume a lot of information, to be able to consume the information that it wants to condense, which is very strange. But yeah, I've been having so much trouble with the AI lately. But anyway, that's the difficulty, is the way. It's just the same with Nostra and trying to connect via the QR code. If it's easy to get into, then you're not going to make any money. There has to be a moat, there has to be a barrier. If it's hard to get into, if it's hard to get it working, then you become, as I say, the last mile is the least crowded. If you get it to work and then your competition gives up, then you have an advantage right there. And that is your value skew. Then your customers will come to you because the competition doesn't have that at your advantage. You might be surprised, like what kind of, I wouldn't even call it skills, that you don't need skills to do this. You don't need skills to do this. What I'm using is VS Code, which is free, literally free. You just download it and install it on your device. I'm using RuCode, the plugin, which is free in VS Code. You just download it and then have it available on RuCode. I'm using MCPs, like Superbase MCP. You don't even need to know what that means. Just know the Superbase one. Stripe one. Stripe hasn't been working lately. Playwright hasn't been working, but it's kind of yesterday it did work, but before that it wasn't working. Puppeteer, MCP, all of these are free, which was working and then it stopped working, but then Playwright decided to start working when Puppeteer stopped working. Which is weird. Anyway, all of these are free and available. Like you can have that, and it's the only thing I'm paying for is the inference, the AI. And in the description you will find Venice AI. If you sign up to the Pro, which means you pay, you can get $10 worth of credits. Now, $10 worth of credits. I mean, if you're signing up to Pro, I'll be honest. I'm not doing it that way. It's if you're going to do it long term, it's not financial advice. You do what you like. But I would say buy some DM, but you would have to be able to deal with crypto wallets and crypto. In that regard. But if you just want to try it out, then you can sign up to Pro, use my link in the description, and if you sign up to Pro, then you can get $10 in credits, and then that can get you going. And that's the only thing I'm paying for, the AI. That's the only thing I'm paying for. So the only skills, I don't even want to call them skills, because it's just I'm just using like really three three abilities. I wouldn't even call them skills. It's like, one, know what you want. That's basically, you need to know the trade-offs. And if you don't know the trade-offs, you just put the AI on ask and tell it what you want, and then ask it, you know, how it's done, how the different ways it could be done, and the pros and cons of each, and then and it will tell you. You don't need you don't need to know what you like. I say know what you want. Know what you want in the sense, you know, you want to know the outcome, but how you get there, the AI will do it for you. So you just ask it, because for instance, like, you might want your cafe website, your cafe directory website, to look beautiful. So the with SUHUF, I went with JavaScript, and it chose that because it made the decision, the AI. And that's the great thing about AI. You don't have to start from a blank canvas. It will fill in the details for you so you can get going. But if you start from a blank canvas, then your mind is going to go blank, and then you'll never start. So it does a lot of the filling in for you. So, you know, it's everything. I mean, you're being spoon-fed here. Seriously, you're being spoon-fed. So you just ask the AI. So with SUHUF, I went with JavaScript, but there's another way of doing websites, which is React, and React will make your websites beautiful, looking lavish. And if you want to go that arty-farty way, then, you know, all power to you. Then, but make sure that, you know, you do that from the beginning, because trying to change it afterwards, later, you know, those are the kind of things you kind of get into. For instance, security, that's the second thing, security or like audit. I did not know, but the AI did it by itself. Is like, if you use the Superbase MCP, Superbase does this audit every week of your database for you, a security audit, and then it will send you an email, send you an alert as to kind of maybe problems with your database. You can literally tell the AI to use the Superbase MCP, that's just a tool, to get the audit and fix whatever is in there. You don't have to actually deal with it. You just have to just remember to tell the AI that, and that's the second thing, ability, skill maybe you can say, is security. Just tell the AI on occasions to deal with any security, and if you get any alerts from Stripe or any alerts from Superbase, using the Superbase database, then you just tell the AI, I got this, etc. Can you deal with it, fix it, and then it will do it. And something just come to mind. An important tool is Context 7. Context 7, it keeps a library of the latest code, so that your AI is not using old code and getting into trouble. So whenever you want to do anything with code, just tell it to use the Context 7 MCP, and then you'll get the latest code. So that's an important one. And yeah, and then the third thing, the third skill, if you want to call it that, is basically like if I go to, let me go back to SUHUF. Yeah, it's not this thing. It's so annoying, it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. Anyway, if you just press Control Shift C, I wonder whether you can see that. Can you see what yeah, you can. And then you go to console. That's it. All you have to do is right click, and you see that? I don't think you can see the right click. Anyway, right click and copy console whenever you get an error. That's it. Those are the three skills. Know what you want, do a security audit, and I'll link in the description to 2 security books so you can just listen to them. There's a way of just listening to them. You don't need to kind of follow so closely, but just a basic understanding of your security of your web application and general security of your app. And then just ask the AI on occasion to deal with the security, because even if you're using Context 7, that's the tool with the latest code, it won't do it securely for some reason. I don't understand why, but it won't do it securely. So on occasion you have to deal with it. You know, check the security of your code, of your database, of your website. And then when you get an error, you can you just press Control Shift C, just copy the whole thing, copy console, paste, tell the AI, oh, I'm getting this error, blah blah blah. If any pop-ups come up on the screen on your website, tell it that error too. Give it the console logs, that is basically just copy what I've just shown you, paste it, and then tell it to deal with it. And because that's how I'm dealing with Nostra Connect. That's how I'm dealing with Nostra Connect. You know, like, I don't know what I'm doing, like in terms of what is going wrong in the back end, but this is what this is how I'm dealing with it. There is some kind of little more nuance to it. Like if you go to the console settings, there's preserve log there. I don't know whether you can see that preserve log. Yeah, preserve log, which is if you have to refresh the page and then you keep losing the console information, then that you tick that in order so that you can keep the console information so that you can give it to the AI. That's just one thing. There's another thing if you go to network, but make sure with the preserve log you take it off. I mean, you could leave it on, it's no biggie, but whenever you tick something, sometimes you have to take it off. And then there's network, and here there's a preserve log here as well. There's a disable cache, and that is that if you need it to respond as though someone had come to the website new, then you need to disable the cache, because sometimes it keeps a copy of your website on the laptop, on the browser itself, and it's not using the one that you uploaded to the web host. But make sure that you then turn that off. You tick it when you need it, and then you tick it off. Otherwise you're going to get into situations where you need the cache and you've got it open and then it's not working, and you're going back and forth with your AI trying to work out what's wrong, and then but it needed the cache, and then that's it. That is the skill set. That is the skill set. That's one, know what you want, and if you don't, ask the AI. Two, security audit, and there's 2 books in the description for that. 3, console logs and any errors you get. Like if it tells you to run some code and then there's an error in the code, just copy it and give it to the AI. Then you've got yeah, so in the description you've got what you need for Proton Pro if you want to take a look at that, and also anything that you need for Venice if you want to try it out. There's $10 worth of credits in the description with my referral code. If you like what you're hearing, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell and choose all. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Tell us in the comment section why you gave us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Any feedback? What am I missing? What am I not seeing? Do you know something that I don't? Let me know. If you want to see the previous video, click to your left, and if you want to see the whole playlist, how this has come about and work, click to your right. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.